Hi, welcome back to Lovely Gardening Bits. There's a bit of carnage here in the garden today. There's like a lot of wind, a lot of breeze. I need to fix so much. Sorry, I'm just looking at my apple tree there. I need to fix her. But yes, I am back. I'm back from France, where Catherine and I spent the most magical few days over with L'Occitane. We will be sharing about that. Actually, today, this is going up on Sunday. If you check Catherine's channel, she uploaded a video, her vlog of the whole trip on Thursday. I'll leave that linked below. And at this moment in time, this is Wednesday, I need to edit my footage as well. I've just been, when you're away, you spend the week before you go away trying to get everything done, then you're the week away, and then the week after you're trying to catch up on everything. So that's what's happening here. I'm sitting at the table here. Let me just show you. There's a lot happening here. Yes, I haven't been in the garden in the last couple of weeks because last week's video I filmed the week before I went away, and that was at Joanne and Will's house. And thank you so much for watching and for all the lovely comments. They're delighted with it, because I think it's always nerve-wracking when you're not in this industry. Like, this is part of my job, very small part, but this is part of my job. And and when you're not online, it can be awkward, kind of chatting to camera and everything. But Will is natural. My sister has no interest. that's not her vibe. She used to do videos with me back in the day when we first started YouTube. That was what, about 11 years ago. I'm so afraid that this is going to fall over. It's very blustery. And then the week before, I filmed a tour of the garden. That was at the end of June, but I actually filmed it it's probably about two and a half weeks ago from today. So I feel like there's a lot that's changed now. I got back on what day? Friday, but we won't go into that. There's a bit of drama coming home, but so I haven't been out in the garden properly. I had a little walk through on Saturday just to get out, but the weather's been so up and down. But I need to have a proper look and see. I feel like there's so much to do. So much that's gone over, there's so much that's blooming. There's just still a pile of plants on here. Now look at this. This is terrible plant mothership. This little sunflower, he's after growing on the wonk because I think he fell over, but I'm going to plant him out. I feel like I need to let everything dry out. I just wanted to catch up and say thanks a million for watching last week's video and for leaving lovely comments for Joanne and Will. Yes, I think I will visit them at the end of the summer. I'm actually going to visit them very soon, but I do a proper tour again at the end of the summer. I feel like this is going to be one of those garden videos where I'm just doing loads of bits. The verbena is huge this year. Oh shit. Actually, let me give you a little overview of the carnage that is in the garden right now. So there's carnage on the table here. Do you know, these plants have been here for ages. I need to plant out oh my god, look. The crocosmia are already starting to sprout. Oh, I've just left them in the tray for too long, as per usual. Obviously a bird, I'd say a magpie, because they're vicious and have been eating my apples. But I have little bits up here. So these two dahlias seem to be sprouting. So we're close to flowers there. And look, the zinnia zinderella have come up. They're really cute. I need to plant these out as well. I must actually see if you pinch out any dead spent flowers, do more come from these ones. Those roses there are finished, I think. I need to check and see what to do with them. These ones here are finished as well. The cottage garden area in pots is a bit wild with a random yellow dahlia. See this plant here, whatever that is, they had that over in France and it was gorgeous. I must check on my app. But you know what I'm going to do today? See this catmint here? I'm going to cut that back and I will get a second bloom. And actually, hold on. Can you see? Oops. Can you see in there already? There's already new blooms in there. So I'm going to do that. I did that last year and it came on great. Oh, these have come up. Oh, they are dinkety. Oh, I love them. It's some kind of achillea. This is a pink achillea. But I'm going to show you something now. In this border, it's the same, but look at the colour is completely different. This is more like a magenta. And look. My Origeron is finally sprouting. I'm so happy. Look at this situation. I need to prune the tomatoes, see what we have to work with, but like I planted too much in there. These are after sprouting so much, but I think I'm going to move the strawberries. This triangular nasturtium was growing kind of inwards. It was kind of covering some of the carrot sprouts, so I'm going to keep that kind of moving. If I move these pots until next year, it'll just give me a bit more space. So sweet peas didn't really grow much more, but I wonder, should I give them a feed? Because look here, on this side, see the leaves are kind of going a little bit brown on the edges. Now they're getting plenty of water because, oh my god, it's been raining so much. I need to remove any seed pods. Okay, I need to prune these tomatoes as well. This is my little ode to Provence with the sunflowers. Now over in France, oh my god, they had the most gorgeous jasmine plants everywhere, and so this is my ode to that as well. Like, look at this, too much in there. Okay, gotta fix that. Okay, I've given the tomato plants their first kind of prune, and I'm going to leave it like a couple of days, see how they go, because at least now there's like air. I've lifted the canopy, I've raised the canopy. So yeah, I didn't realise, oh my god, see, I've never grown tomatoes in veg beds before. It's only been in pots, and I can kind of keep more of an eye on them, but like these had like 2 and 3 stems, like main stems, so I might cut them off kind of closer to the end of the season. But at least, like, look, I have like some tomatoes there. I think I'm going to tackle the tomatoes in this bed now. But like the little bees are loving the nasturtiums. This is great. Oh, just makes me so happy. And I'm going to leave the little cucumbers in there because look, there's a little guy there. So hopefully they pollinate. So you can see like a few little flowers in there that should pollinate. Hopefully now that they have a bit more space, a bit more air, a bit more sun, they'll do better. Given this a little bit of a haircut, and I think it was on Gardener's World the other day that they said to cut off the tendrils. Those are like these little guys that like attach on to help them grow. I can't remember why they said, I think it maybe it's for like energy to make more flowers rather than grow more, especially at this point of the season. So I don't know if you can see here at this little joint here, there seems to be like new little shoots there down here as well. They didn't cut off all of the tendrils. I suppose it's just like a little bit of an experiment, but do you know what, it's something that I'm going to research now for next week if I need to do them again next week, so be it. But looks good. On this side I'm trying to like encourage the trailing nasturtiums on like either corner of this to kind of trail over. I might pull out this one. There's a lot happening, but oh, sorry, I didn't see this when I was pruning. Little tomato, and I've cut off like loads of the bottom leaves of these tomato plants, and yeah, so far so good. So that's one job done. Okay, so these tomatoes are a little bit less crazy than the other ones, but I do see, I finally see one in there. Pulled up the dead peas from the back end of that, so I think there I'm going to put some autumn vegetables, maybe broccoli or something, cabbage, sure, we'll see. Oh, is this going to be a little pepper? Oh, I think so. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, that bed is looking a little bit wild, but that's okay. We're just going to leave it. I do see pea, look. See a pea there. But you know what, I feel the better of getting that done, getting that tackled. So those are the 3 veg beds. Well, 3 veg beds and the veg pot with the tomatoes in it are sorted. I need a cup of tea. Air is absolutely wild from being out in the wind, but it's lovely. It's not too hot, it's great. But can I just say, I'm loving this border. This is my ode to Monty Don's jewel garden. So it's a jewel border. I did the tour of the garden there a couple of weeks ago. The roses are only starting to kind of bloom. It's quite late for them now. They're almost neon. It's unreal. Actually, let me show you before I go inside. I just moved those rose pots out of the way while I was doing the border there. But okay, so yes, some of the verbena is a little bit on the wonk, but that's okay. But like, look how much of it I have, and it's neon. It is absolutely gorgeous. So I only cut these back probably in March of this year, because even when they are gone over, it's just going to be nice to have like that little bit of structure over the winter, and a little bit of movement rather than having like just a bare border. I'm going to leave everything. It's going to help to condition the soil. Happy days. But these plants here are really coming on. These are Carlo asters, and they're going to be probably in August. Lovely purple daisies. They're going to be fab. But here, look, it's starting to come alive now. Plenty of verbena, as you can see. Might actually pick some of that. So then down here we have the terracotta achillea. I love that, and I want to do something with that actually. Then these calendulas, they look a little bit more yellow on screen. They're kind of like this really vibrant neon orange, but down there you can see there's a mix of kind of paler peaches. I think these are calendula cantaloupe, so we've got like a different variation of colours. But then also, does that look different? Does that one look different to you, to that one? It's either the centre. It's either the centre, unless maybe they start off like that and then work their way up to that. You can see that one looks like it's in the middle of doing something. I don't know. Here, this is the geranium that I only planted out a few weeks ago, the Catherine Deneuve, and I love her. So she's quite tall and lots of green foliage, but just those little pops of pink is lovely. And then look at the roses. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. And this is what I love about them. Here's one of the roses starting off as a bud. You can see it's quite dark, okay? This one's about to open soon. So then when they open, they're like this. They're so vibrant. I hope that the camera is picking it up. There's another one there that's after opening up quite recently. Oh my god, I just love the ombre effect, like the yellow into the peach. There's another one, but then as they start to live their life doing rose things, it's like the colour mellows out and you have like kind of more pastel-y colours. And then this is it, like this one is nearly finished, but see the way it's like just really pale. Actually, that's quite a good representation of the life cycle of this rose. I don't know what one it is because we've had it for years, but yes, sorry, here we have more of the terracotta achillea. Lots down here, and even though these ones here are kind of flopped over, almost flat on the ground, it's nice because it gives like a little tier effect of colour. The bees love verbena. And I just love the fact that they move in the wind. The verbena, not the bees. And I always think verbena looks like a head and two arms going, hello! And then I can't remember what this is here. See the little spiky thing? Look at that little bee. Having the best time ever. I must look it up and see what it is. Mexican ponytail grass, I think that's what it's called, is quite flat now still. But I hope that will turn into a crocosmia. Speaking of which, this, it is after erupting the crocosmia. This is Crocosmia lucifer. And again, the bees love it. I love this. I love the colour of it. I think it's so vibrant. And I love the fact that like it's properly dramatic. So like this is before they're going to open up. And like look, it's a proper little explosion. I have a few random here in this pot. These self-seed, and I presume that like either a bird has dropped the seeds into this pot. But they've been doing their things now. I'm going to save some seeds this season, and I'll show you those when it's kind of closer to the time. I feel like the crocosmia are out that bit earlier this year. I don't know, usually it's like August. I don't know, maybe things are wonky with the weather we've had this year. But yes, I'm going to save some seeds because all of my money has gone into this garden this year. Totally worth it, but we're going to save lots of seeds this year. Okay, we're back. I think the sun is coming out now a little bit more, which is really nice. Please excuse this situation here. I had a really juicy orange at my lunch and it just took a bite and I went everywhere. But anyway, so I actually feel the better now of having those veg beds kind of sorted out. I'm going to keep more of an eye on them now as well because I'm not going to wait for the rest of the summer. So I'm going to be here and kind of trying to do things more regularly. And I know I spoke about this before on the video, but I find that this year I have saved up my jobs when it comes to the garden and kind of let them build up a lot. And so that's something that I need to flag for next year, but I'm flagging it now. Better late than never. So yeah, just try and maybe like do a few bits kind of every day or every second day rather than just once a week film for the video, because I know I spoke about it before, but I do want to enjoy what I'm doing and get the benefits like mentally when it comes to the garden. But what I'm going to do is I have a table of plants here. I know. In fairness, I did sow. Oh, they're probably sitting in their own juice. I did sow more tomato seeds. Why? I don't know. But they seem to be coming on. Now I know I'm probably not going to get many tomatoes from it for sure. So we'll see. Maybe we'll have, because like things are slower to grow, maybe we'll have maybe a longer season towards the end of the year. We'll see. Sure, they're in the pots anyway. So what I'm going to do is plant out as much of what's here on the table as possible, and on that back border, like down here, I just have kind of tall sunflowers and I have lavender and the jasmine as well. But when we were in France, we met up with Philippe and Magali. So they are the growers of the verbena plants that go into the verbena range in L'Occitane, and we were there to kind of learn about how they grow, what they do to kind of prepare the soil and work with the soil and see how it goes, like how it starts from start to finish when it comes to the products. And so, sorry, it's very bright now. So what they said and what Jean-Pierre said, so Jean-Pierre is the grower of almonds and he has his own lavender field then as well. They both said that naked soil has no life. Jean-Pierre had like not two rows, but like lots of rows of almond trees, and then in between those, rather than just having bare soil, they filled it full of plants. And so there's lots of variation as well, so that the bees have, and the insects and the pollinators have different sources of pollen. Oh, a little bird on my bird bath. And then as well, they were talking about, I don't know, was it them or was it Jean Charles? We spoke to Jean Charles Lom, I think is his name. I'll put his title here as well. On the last day, like literally right before we left, and he was talking about how it's important to have different sources of pollen for the plant or for the bees, but throughout the year. So rather than just having loads in the summer, to try and have some in the spring and the winter. And I know easier said than done, like especially in the winter. But I was like, oh, that's really interesting. So what I'm taking on board from them today is to plant my stuff out, because I have loads of sunflowers. Like not just like these sunflowers here. These are little Dorit sunflowers. They're only going to be small, but I love them. They're so cute. I need to repot this. It's like an olive tree actually. So Jean-Charles was saying that the reason why my and Catherine's olive trees aren't fruiting properly is that, what did he say? Oh, it needs like a male and a female to pollinate. Very windy. So I need to Google what a male and female olive tree looks like. So it's given that one from L'Occitane, the tall one, a few years ago, and then this one I got from Penny's, I think, earlier this year. So I'm gonna just feel like it's dried out. I feel like I went overboard with the plants this year and just finding it a struggle to keep up with it. But do you know what? It's fine. It's a good problem to have. But yeah, I'm going to plant out all of these, not all of them, some of these into that back border. I don't care if it doesn't go. I want the flowers out. I want them to fulfill their destiny. I want them to just be happy. And I want them to be a lovely source of pollen for all the bees and the pollinators. is the sign of a good day's work in the garden, but I'm not finished yet. So I've pretty much everything planted out except for more tomatoes. Be fine. I think these are gardener's delight, but no, listen, it's very late kind of getting them going, but I'm just gonna give it a go. See, even if I get a few, I'll be happy out. But other than that, the table is pretty much, it's clear. It's clear. I have to clean it off, and like just looking at that back border now, it just looks fuller. But I feel like I've lots of research to do. So number one, research what to do with my roses. Like, do I prune them now or what? Because I feel like these ones, one is a climbing, one is a rambling rose, and I don't think you prune them the way you would, you know, the orange, kind of neon orange rose that gets cut back. Mum usually does it in like February, March, but I need to research about that. I can see like rose hips coming on. Oh, that'll be good for the birds, won't it? It's just the magpies, they're vicious, and they wake me up at like 4:30 in the morning. But anyway, so yes, I'm not going to film me planting my tomatoes, but I'm going to do it. But let me just show you what I planted in that back border. Let's do like a little recap. So what I'm going to do is water those now in a second. So these are like the little Dorit. I've been watching too much Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And actually, I think I need to pull up my potatoes. I'll do that next week. I just would love to have my nephew over when I do that, because he'd love it. So yeah, I'm going to water those, leave them on the patio because they love them. I've grown these little Dorit. Like this is probably like the 4th year I've grown them. Super easy to grow. I need to figure out where to plant that calendula because it's not going to fit here. So I have these sunflowers here that are going to grow massive. And do you remember the verbena that I cut back here? Like, it's taken over again. I just didn't realise that they would grow that much, and like I feel bad for the little lavender in there. I have a geranium here just for ground cover. So in there at the back there is another verbena. I can't remember what type it is, but I put one there, put one in front of the wisteria tree. That's looking good. So we have the lavender, and then these are the zinnia, some zinnias. I can't remember which one. This is the story of my life. But you know what, as I was digging them in, look at the jasmine, the star jasmine. That makes me happy. Also, can we just look at the zinnias? Look at that little pink one there. How the yellow bits have little flowers, little tiny flowers. Joy, 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 joy. I'll definitely grow them again. So I put them back there as well, so that hopefully when this sunflower grows up, because that's going to get huge, it will just like give a little bit more interest down at the bottom here. Another one of those verbenas, a smaller sunflower there, more zinnia. I think that's that sultan something, and I can't remember, was that the same thing? The zinnias, we'll see. Listen, it's going to be a surprise, but I just love how this border is filling up. I'd love it to be wider. That's next year's job. I feel like between the veg beds being like tidied up, we need to weed actually in the back there, this being planted out. So I just would need like your honest opinion. Do I need to go to the garden centre to get more flowers? No, I don't. Say no, but like say yeah if you think I should. But yeah, I just put like little dahlias here in pots. I'm trying to decide whether to leave them in pots or whether to plant them out, because the ones that I left in pots last year have all come back and I didn't dig them up at all. I feel like I needed that. I needed like just a day in the garden. I was listening to podcasts and just getting filthy dirty. I just love it. I love it and I've missed it, so I really am going to make more of an effort to come out more regularly, but also then to like do the work, yeah, but also to come out and enjoy it, because before we know it, summer will be over. But no, it was a really nice temperature as well, because the last time, no, about 3-4 weeks ago, heat wave, too hot, and like I had people messaging or like leaving comments going, why don't you just do it in the evening? Because it's, to me now, because I filmed this, it's kind of part of my work and I don't want to work in the evening. Not this anyway, but sure, listen, it's all good. And then as well, because if I was to do it in the evening, I feel like it's quieter in the area and people will be able to hear me waffling. Probably do anyway. Listen, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in next week's video, where I'm probably going to need my mum's help with something that I want to do, but if it works out in my mind, I think it'll look fab. But listen, have a lovely weekend, a lovely Sunday, a lovely week, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye.